Hello, friends. Welcome back to another great episode of Girl, Why Not You? I'm Jennie Blackwood, and we're talking about something that I believe is going to separate the women who thrive in 2026 from the women who burn out trying. Personal branding, but not the fluffy kind, not the curated grid, not chasing trends or hoping the algorithm blesses you like I know all of us do. I'm talking about authority, ownership, reclaiming who you are, and building a brand that makes people say, hell yes, I'm hiring her. Today's guest is an elder millennial corporate girl turned stay-at-home mom turned multi-six-figure founder. She's lived about 5 lives in the past decade, powered through infertility, divorce, and rebuilding her authority as a woman and a leader. And she made the bold decision to go all in on her business when everything else was shifting. Kelsey Hogan, I am so excited to have you here today.
What an intro. Thank you, Jennie.
You've earned it.
Excited to be here. I loved listening to that. So thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, it is honestly my true pleasure. I'm so excited for everybody listening today to get to know you better because you are truly the embodiment of what I am trying to get everybody else out there to understand.
I'm telling you, sister, same. We're on the same page about that for sure.
Women, we can do it all. Just remember that. So I want to start out with something interesting that you've said. You said that you've lived 5 lives in the past decade, which tells me you've gone through a lot. I was hoping that maybe you could give us a little tidbit about what that looks like. Where have you been and where have you come to now?
Oh my gosh, so many places. So I think there is some stat, guys. I don't have it, but women live 7, 8, 9 different, they go through different careers. And it's so interesting
so
because as a young child, probably 8, 9, 10, my mom, she had worked so many different jobs, art gallery, grocery store, stay-at-home mom. And I thought, wow, my mom is so crazy and wild. And now I'm like, wait, that's normal. That's what we all do. We've all done so many different things. And that's kind of what women just do. And another interesting stat, guys, and I'm not a stats
I love stats.
It was that women in their 40s, actually 45 to 55, are the ones that are starting businesses that actually sustain and scale and make
Isn't that
That's
amazing?
like the number one group. I love it. I love it. It's so
It's
great.
amazing.
So my past decade, I mean, I feel like, you know, when you're going from age 29 to 39 or, 30 to 40, it's like that is such a transformational period for women. I mean, you're probably getting married or meeting a partner. You're probably having a kid or two or trying to have kids. So for me, it was like getting married, living in Chicago, moving to Michigan to be closer to family. You're kind of going through those early adulthood adjustments that we make when we kind of settle down and decide to stop partying every weekend. And, part of it was trying to get pregnant, going through secondary infertility, which is actually, we can talk about later, a huge part of where my personal brand really all began. So we've, moved to different places and we're back in Michigan and we're trying to have another kid. Then we end up moving back to Chicago for work, as you do in your early life and career. Jobs have you going all over the country, all over the world, and you kind of have that flexibility and energy to do that kind of thing. And I had started, dabbling into blogging and putting myself out there on Instagram. Meanwhile, I'm not working full time anymore. I'm not working in my corporate life that I had been working since the end of college, like we all did as millennials.
Because that's what we thought we had to do.
We did, because we couldn't just pick up our smartphone and start selling our expertise, because that didn't exist. We didn't have a smartphone. We barely had a flip phone. So, it's like, I was going through getting married, having kids, trying to have kids, moving back and forth from Chicago to Michigan about, 30 times it felt like. And finally coming back, planning routes, then COVID hits, right? Then COVID hits and everything goes crazy in the world.
What a time.
And at this point, right, I'm thinking this is the point where I'm going, okay, so I'm into my motherhood zone. I've got my 2 kids, and what do I want to do? There's so many moms that kind of like stay home, shift careers, and then they try to figure out what is next for me. And a lot of them are starting businesses. It's just the natural next step, because we want that flexibility in our lives to be able to pick up from school, go to doctor's appointments, work out whenever we want to, not be on someone else's clock.
So true.
So I started just dabbling in freelance social media, which tied back into my work in PR and marketing. It made sense. And then a few years later, going through a divorce, deciding I wanted to leave my marriage meant I had to go from side hustle, fun money to real, actual mortgage paying money. So it's been a wild whirlwind. And actually, it's like my son is 10. So this is like the 10-year. I'm like, wow, this has been a 10-year. You and me, kid, we're in this one.
You did it, girl.
And it's like, right, I'm like a cat. I have 9 lives in the past, 10 years. But I think that's just kind of how it is. I think that women today, if they aren't shifting and evolving a lot, they might feel stuck. And I certainly think I would have felt stuck in any of those previous places. And I'll probably feel stuck again, to be honest, because we're so multifaceted and we have so many different passions. Like even the women I know that run businesses, they have like 3 different things going kind of. It's like we just got a lot going on. We're very deep. We're very intellectual. I just think it's something about women, right? So all the lives I've been living. And here I am today in 2026 to talk about it with you, Jennie.
I love that. No, seriously, I resonate with that deeply. Everything you said. It is interesting, when we have kids, our mentality of what's most important really shifts. Obviously, we want and need to make money because we want to provide this amazing life. But you're right. It's like, I think that's almost like the panic button where people are like, hold on. Working this 9 to 5 was fine, but now you're saying I'm giving up time with my kids. I can't be at soccer games. I can't take them to the dentist without asking some grown ass man if I can have some PTO time. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, it just gives you the ick to think about being in that job. So yeah, I mean, it sounds like you got to that point. You really dug deep and you were like, nope, like transition period. And I'm with you. Like, it's one of those things where, and sometimes I'm going to be really raw and honest when I think about this, sometimes it exhausts me when you said we start something, it's successful, but then we want to start something else and we want to start something else. And it's like, sometimes I just go, can I just be for a minute? But the reality is no. Right. And it doesn't sound like you can either. It sounds like that's just how we're wired. But how great to know that you're someone that's like, you know what? If the one door closes, I'm going to open 10 more because that's the type of mentality it takes to truly achieve and maintain. That's the biggest thing, maintain success.
It really is. Yeah.
I feel that.
When you're talking about business, I mean, we see a lot of flash and splash and success and big numbers and 10K months in 10 days and millions and billions. But to keep going, to keep growing, the goalpost keeps moving and you have to keep working so hard to even stay at the level that you were and putting out new things, reinventing what you're putting out. The algorithm's changing, people are changing, the audience is shifting, the economy is shifting. So it's not a one and done. It is not a one and done. And that's the thing that really kind of pisses me off about Instagram, which is my bread and butter business, is that so much of what everyone is seeing is these quick win, quick money, how easy it is to just sit on your couch and make money. Well, why aren't we all doing that? Why aren't we all doing that then? No, we're not. We're getting up, we're getting dressed, we're making ourselves presentable, and we're working our asses off to make money every single day. It's not easy. Okay. Maybe for the 0.1% that blew up and somehow then invested that money really well, guys, it's not. So, but I will say entrepreneurship, right? It's like, we love it because we do have that flexibility and we have unlimited revenue ceiling. But to get there is very hard. So you have to make that balance. I mean, I was sitting in corporate as a young 20-something seeing these new moms going, oh my gosh, I can't imagine. How would I have a kid and be at this workplace right now at 8 a.m. and then leave? And I'm like, I don't think I could do that. And unfortunately, and I did. I was a stay-at-home mom for a while. Again, lots of work. Struggle hard, a lot going on mentally too when you're with kids all day and no adults. But
100.
It's just, I've been, and that's another thing about all the different lives. It's like I've done every single one. I will say, I'm like, owning a business is the hardest. Yeah. However, I'm choosing it. I'm 10 toes in. Some days it's 9, but you have to have the grit. Yeah. You have to have the grit to keep going. You're like, you've launched a podcast. What else are you doing? Right? It's like,
when are you going to start writing your book? When are you going to do this?
Literally. Yeah. It's podcast, book, stage, and TV show. And what's next, right? It's like, but it's also kind of true. It's like you kind of have to. You kind of have to do that next thing. And you kind of have to be a part of whatever's happening in order to stay relevant, to be totally honest. And but it's so possible. It is so possible. I just think there's a little bit of this like smoke and mirrors about what it actually takes. And then that's when people get so shocked when it's not working immediately and they aren't rich and famous immediately. And they're like, wait a minute, I thought that was what happened, but it's not. So I think we are normalizing, though, the conversation online about how it is a lot of work and there aren't proven formulas. And people are coming out now that used to have the proven formula saying, hey, guess what? There's no proven formula because their proven formula is in the toilet now and they're trying to get back up there too. So it's so interesting. Gosh, starting these businesses online, it's like, what is this world? What is this world?
What is this world? It's like, it kind of is, the world is your oyster. I mean, you really can. Anybody can become an influencer. Anybody can, but the thing is it's like, when you decide that you're going to try this route, you just have to be like ready to be very consistent. You have to weather many, many storms. You have to know that like immediate gratification, while that would be truly amazing, is not probably going to happen. It's like, what do they say? What horse wins the race? Like the steady horse wins the race. It's like, you have to stay steady. And that is so true. I think something that you and I could really, really get into right now, I feel like this could be something that would be beneficial to people listening, is the ebbs and flows that come with being an entrepreneur. It appears to everybody on the outside world that, oh my gosh, that person is crushing it. They are in the game. Like, I want to be like them. But the reality is, and I'm only going to speak for myself, I'll let Kelsey speak for herself. The reality is there are times when the ups are so freaking good. And then there's times, many, many times, where things hit the bottom where you're like, oh shit, this is it. Like you're on the plane, it's about to crash and you're like, it's been a good ride, but we're going down. But then it comes back up, right? But it's like being able to have the tenacity to weather that is so fucking hard.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest part. And you're so right. I follow this woman. She's a hypnosis coach, and I actually do her hypnosis is
does it work?
It does, but I have to stick to it better. I have to
stick
to it better because I was in it and then I'm like, oh, it's working. And now I kind of fell off the wagon a bit, like we do with any of these things. But
yes,
she's got these Telegram channels. There's hundreds of women. I'm like, and so I'm in her world kind of as a client in a way and in a membership. And I'm thinking, God, she's crushing it. She's killing it. She's a multimillionaire. She did a post the other day about how her January was a negative, like in the red, negative 10 grand. And I'm thinking,
isn't that insane?
Okay. I'm like, if you're negative 10 grand, what am I? Because I see hundreds of women on your Zoom calls, quite literally on your Zoom. So it's just, we make a lot of assumptions. And guess what? We want to put our best foot forward. I mean, there's the authenticity of it, of sharing the ups and downs and ebbs and flows. But really, I mean, any good salesperson isn't every day going on. It's not doom and gloom. Okay. We're not selling doom and gloom because no one's buying your doom and gloom. They're buying your wins. They're buying your authenticity about, hey guys, guess what? This is what it takes. But it's not an everyday thing that you're posting. I'm negative. Okay. Well, lady, then why am I listening to you? Right. But yeah, it is. And it's so much different. I mean, even 2 or 3 years ago, people were buying social media. They had the money. They wanted all the things. Yeah. And then things shift in the economy, the world, in what's out there as far as AI to replace what I might be doing or what you might pay for. So it's very interesting. I will say that this year, especially, I've been feeling a lot of just shifting and thinking like, just figure out what is the next thing. Because you have to evolve your brand based on the response, based on the platforms. So it's a lot. It's a lot of up and down. And that destabilization, I think, is really hard for women because, we get it a lot at home. We've got the kids. Yeah. It's like crazy up and down, all around, dysregulated. Counters are cluttered. We know that women do not thrive in clutter. We know that clutter affects our brain. And then if our business feels like cluttered, like I don't know what I'm doing, that's going to impact us. So it's the inner work piece to work through that is really, really key. Like that's why I started the hypnosis, which I need to get back on, to help get my brain trained in a way to work through these things, whether it's the confidence, imposter syndrome, magnetic clients and how to magnetize people, how to just work through the traumas of my past that are going to allow me to expand and open to the future. So it's the inner stuff, I think, that a lot of times we ignore until we're faced, head to head. And it's like, you're not going to be able to keep going unless you really dig inside, because this is a lot emotionally too, as much as it is the actual work on the computer and Instagram and all of those places.
Yeah. No, you're so right. And you feel like a huge weight, like when you have kids and you're like used to pumping out a certain amount of income, and then God knows what the algorithm changes or something, and you take a hit. That can be really difficult. But just as much as Kelsey and I can sit here and be like, oh, sometimes it's scary. Like we're telling you that because if we didn't tell you that, we'd be lying to you. But I will also say that the ups are so incredible. I mean, when you hit milestones and it was all your own work, what you have done, what you have built, not punching a clock for a 9-to-5 type of job, right? It is immense how much that can change, the way you feel about yourself, your confidence, everything. So when you can say, oh my gosh, I worked so hard and it made me get to this level I've never even seen in a corporate job, right? Or you could say, I was able to take my family on this amazing vacation, or, I can be a stay-at-home mom now who works from home. I don't have to have this, like leaving my kids every day. All of that, the gain is so huge. And that's why it's worth it to put up with the hard times, right?
Yep,
that's why we stick with it.
Yes.
And it seems crazy sometimes, but the wins, in my opinion, drastically outweigh the falls,
Right,
so.
Right. And, you hear people say you have to be slightly crazy to be an entrepreneur, and then you don't get it until you actually join the club, and then you get it. You're like, yeah, you do. You kind of do. And it's just a new world. It's a whole new world when you step into it. A lot of stuff that you just didn't even think about. The back end stuff and all the finance and this and that. It's different, But yeah, like you said, I mean, you could score a client. Here's a $50K check. Okay, great. I love it.
Yeah.
And so it's just, it's very, very interesting. It's not that steadiness. You don't have the steadiness of regular paycheck, but that also comes with, like we said, the strict schedules, asking a man to take a dentist appointment, using my, PTO for a half day. It's all, this is our choice, right? So
it's a choice.
I love that we have the option, and I love that more women are just leaning into that option with whatever their hobby. I mean, you've got people doing embroidery, matcha. I mean, anything. It doesn't have to be an online, but it doesn't have to be selling coaching or services, right? I always people are like, I want to start, but I don't know what I should sell. And so then they kind of get into that scammy like digital marketing thing where you're selling courses to sell courses, or you're selling people on how to work from home. It's like, don't sell that. Sell what you're good at. Sell a product. Do a workout thing. Like I said, embroidery. I have all these embroidery pop-ups coming out. Sell what you are good at and what you love.
You're passionate about.
What were you passionate about, either in life or after, in corporate life? Or be a makeup artist and leave the big guy and start your own thing, right? Like, so it's not like you have to reinvent something new. You have something that you're really good at. Maybe it's skateboarding. I don't know, but how can you turn that into a business, right? So it's not about like figuring out, what do I do? It's like, what am I great at? What do I love? What am I passionate about? What can I talk about for days and days? And I love doing, and then how do I run a business on that? So that's where I think, I love that we just see so many different types of businesses popping up and really thriving too. And I think the female entrepreneur community online is so amazing when you get into it. Like, that's how we met, obviously. Feel like I have a bunch of virtual besties going through it with me, and also real life people too. But it's when you step in, you're kind of meeting people online, and then you start meeting offline. And I just think so many more business owners now, even in the past 5 years, than we had. So I like that it's more relatable. Before, we were all just working our 9-to-5s and didn't really know what each other did. We just knew they worked at some corporate building and that was it. Now it's like, hey, my friend's a photographer. My friend's a realtor. My friend is a podcaster. Like, that's cool. Like, your friend is cool.
I know. There's so much like different opportunity now, I feel like. So I feel that to my core. And this is something else I think people should know. Like, Kelsey or like myself, we had established ourselves in a certain part of corporate life, marketing and advertising and whatnot. And so the thing is, we knew when we took this risk to start a new business that we had something to fall back on. Like, it's not like if you leave a 9-to-5 and you try a new job that you're going to be like on the streets, right? Like, go back to what you did. Find another job. It's okay, but so much scarier to just stay in something you hate and never give yourself the chance to see if something could be better or enhance your life or that you're more passionate about, give you more time, all of the above. So I say take the risk.
It is because when I was in my 20s, there wasn't that chance. I mean, the idea of starting a business, no one was doing that. No one was doing that. I wasn't going to say, let me go start my own marketing firm. And to be quite honest, I was so burned out. Marketing scared me. I was triggered by even the idea of starting a business. So now in the mental health piece of it too, I mean, it's really, really hard to be in a job that you feel trapped in and that it's like it's a relationship that's like, I got to get out. And now women, young, older, whoever you are able to get out. It's of course scary. Yes, it's scary, but you have something to fall back on. You also have the ability to kind of start something a little bit on the side and then use your income to start growing what you've got going. But I mean, people say you can start a business for free. I mean, you can start an Instagram for free and start posting yourself and just sharing yourself. And that's the personal brand piece weaving in about just starting to have people connect with you. And then you're the brand. Right. Start selling whatever you want, product, service, that they're going to follow you because they've connected with who you are as a human, which we love because that's who people are relating to. They're relating to other humans that share values and traits and passions and interests, and they're inspirational. So you could totally be that person online and then maybe figure out that monetization piece once you start growing that community.
Yeah, you have to, like, I always say this, shoot the gap, like find something that you do that people are commonly coming to you saying, how do you do this? I love that. Like, it's like people are showing interest. That's how people start those types of businesses online or become influencers in different ways. That's how I started my company, Social Grays. I mean, all I thought I was doing was starting a bottomless charcuterie cart, and that thing blew up like no other. And I did go down the course world because I had so many people asking me, how do I start this business? I want to do this. I couldn't answer all those questions onesie twosie. Like, no freaking way. So I created a course and I said, here you go. $47 if you want to. And it was such good information. Like, it's everything that took me months and months of stress and spiral to figure out. But then that sold. And then that's when I enhanced up into helping people actually like coach through becoming an entrepreneur. I think so many women don't start businesses because they don't know where to start. They go, well, everybody else is doing it, but like, I don't get it. I don't know how to do it. I wouldn't even know where to start. So you just go, I'm too busy for that. Or it scares you to figure it out. But I'm here to frickin' tell you, if there's something that you're interested in, it is worth figuring out. So I have a question for you, Kelsey. When you talk about brand, you say you believe the personal brand is the answer in 2026. And you were kind of just talking about that, but can you like weave that into like how you're helping people do that? What you've seen, results, like what have you done with that personal branding to change people's?
Yes. So I think that, a lot of what we were using, we were using Instagram a few years ago when we were using it just for personal was so different than with business. And I think a lot of times when it comes to owning a business, having a service, product, whatever, we started really relying on the graphics, the canvas, all of that kind of stuff to create, the promos and the flyers and this and that. And the aesthetic imagery that we were using, even pulling stock photos, that sort of thing. So we weren't really humanizing our businesses.
Right.
And so people were buying the product, the service, and they were kind of going about their day and then leaving our world and never really coming back. And then we kind of went, well, where did everyone go? Why aren't they sticking around? Why am I getting a ton of engagement? And for me, the personal brand piece is the humanizing piece because people are relationship driven. They want to feel a connection, and more as the internet gets noisier and more crowded with more voices out there selling you more things that you may or may not need. It is a matter of creating those connections that are unique to you, sharing things that only you know, that only you feel, that only you can say. That's going to be your differentiator. It's not going to be the list of things you're offering inside of your program or the list of ingredients in your natural skincare product. Well, that is so amazing. And all of those things do matter. It's going to be the connection that they have with you that is going to sell them on product or service. So leading face first. And at the end of the day, that's how Gen Z is absolutely shopping. They want a connection. They want authenticity. They see right through the AI videos, the Canva graphics, the faceless marketing. They want to know who it is, who am I buying from. They're very discerning. Everything they do is online. Their social, their news, their friendships, their shopping. And I mean, for the most part, we all are too, but that's how they grew up. That's their whole life. So they're looking for people that they can feel a part of the brand world and a brand community. Like you see brands like Rhode, Hailey Bieber's skincare makeup line. People feel immersed in it. They feel like they're part of it. They've got the lip gloss on their cell phone. It's like, I'm part of this brand. This brand is me. And yes, of course, she's Hailey Bieber. We're not all Hailey Bieber, unfortunately. We wish we were.
For many reasons.
Right. For so many reasons. But it's that connection to Hailey Bieber and that aspirational piece where they feel like they're a part of that brand world. And I think only a human can really do that. I mean, I know personally, I look up to many women who run personal brands, like an Emma Grede, for instance, who I personally don't even, I mean, I wear some Skims. I'm not, a big fan of all the products. I don't shop all the Good Americans and all the other brands and businesses that she has her hands in, but I love her podcast. I love who she is. I want to follow her. I want to be a part of her world. I want to read her book. So when you lead with a personal brand, you develop a community that are going to buy, different parts of what you're selling, and you're pivot proof. You can go, oh, now I have a product. Oh, now I just launched. I mean, we've had course creators that are launching skincare products and people are going, oh my God, I love it. I want it. Right. Because they follow the person, they follow the human, and they're like, okay, great. I support you. I love you. And I want to be a part of this world with your new skincare line and with your courses and with your podcast and all the other things that you have going. So I just think it's like we lost sight of that relationship thing after we all went online and joined Zoom in 2020 and never looked back. But I'm telling you, in person, every time I go to an in-person event, like that's where I'm getting clients. That's where people are going, oh my God, Kelsey, I want to hire you. I could talk online for days and years and months, and it takes so much longer for that buying cycle to actually come to fruition versus an in-person meeting. It's like you see in their eyes, you feel it, So we love the personal brand for just showing up and being ourselves and not hiding behind the logo, the website, the Canva. It's just showing up and being yourself, and which is actually scary, but it's much easier than trying to create content, quote unquote. I'm creating content. Just share, just be yourself, just document your life. This doesn't feel forced. It feels more intuitive. It feels more natural.
I do really love that. So, okay, on that note, can you explain a little bit about the Legacy Society?
Yes. Okay. So the Legacy Society. Yes. Legacy Society. Of course, I'm one of those girlies that likes to make things aesthetic. I'm just a big into the branding, the aesthetics, and I don't do it all myself. I hire experts, and that's one of the other things. Yeah. I'm hiring the experts, guys. Like, we can do it all ourselves. We could go work out ourselves every day, but we hire a personal trainer or we go to a class because it's easier and more fun, and you get your results faster. Same with, cooking. If I might hire, someone to prepare my meals for me, or a personal chef, right? Clean. We hire out for a reason. We can do everything ourselves.
Stick to what you're good at.
It's also right. Own your niche. We only have so many hours in the day, so we have to kind of outsource. And when it comes to creating that brand, figuring out what do I say, and everything from my Instagram bio down to, posting the content, that's where I come in with the Legacy Society. So this is for women who are building businesses that want to create the personal brand around the business that they've started, the idea that they have, and they might not have any clue where to start, or they just simply want that go-to person in their pocket that they can just work side by side in creating the business and creating the content, working through, the sales conversations and the sales emails and the posts and the DMs and all of the different things. So I work with women. It's a mastermind program.
Love that.
And we love a mastermind. I'm always in a mastermind. Personally, I'm in one right now. I'm always in some sort of mastermind. So I'm a big fan of
smart
online coaching, support, proximity. I need that for my business. I think at a certain point you realize that you kind of need someone to bounce ideas off, and it's not ChatGPT or your biz bestie that's at the same level as you. It's someone that's been there, done that, and is going to be able to say, hey, Kelsey, this is what you should be doing. This is what we're doing. This is what we're not. So we do calls. We have group, like a Slack channel that is just constantly floating with ideas. Cool. And so It's great. It's a community of, again, female founders from every walk. We've got product, we've got service, we've got some people that do product and service. So there's no, I always like to say there's no like right or wrong. It is for female founders, so it is for women. But I mean, I've aged like 25 to 51. So I mean, we've got women in all kind of walks that are even some working full-time jobs that are starting their side hustles out and saying, I want to learn now so that after I get married and have my kids, I'm going to be ready to like drop the corporate gig and become my full-time wedding planner. So I kind of just, it's all about, for me, that connection to women who have big goals and big dreams and are willing to, put in the work and want to show up and want to do it, but they just simply just don't know where to start. I'm like, let's get you started. I am your flag. Let's start. And I will rock and roll with you and be like a team member, a biggest cheerleader. That's my jam. That's what I love to do.
I love that for so many reasons, but I think people need the power of community. Like when you're starting something new, or if you're going down like on some kind of endeavor that maybe your family or your friends are kind of like, okay, are you really sure you want to do, it's like, those are not the people you should be surrounding yourself with. You need to be around other like-minded people who, don't make you feel crazy for wanting to chase your dreams, who are motivational, inspirational, where you're learning from a powerful group of women who are set out to achieve dreams just like you are. It just makes sense to me to be a part of something big when you're trying to build something big. Even if big to you is actually small, it's a big deal, right?
Right.
I love that you're doing that. How do people join that? How can people be a part of it?
It's right on my website. I have the Legacy Society. There's a whole sexy sales page and website about it. And also I'm on Instagram at It's Kelsey Hogan. And I just love chatting with people in the DMs. And when it comes to community too, it's like, be out there. I'm in communities. I just love to, I provide so much value on my Instagram. DM me. I'm like chit-chatting. I'm like, oh, let's do this.
I love that.
So I think the community piece is so key, because what you said about family and friends is so true. People take it really, really personally. And I don't know what it is about family and friends, guys, but they don't want us to start. I don't know. It's super weird. They don't want to like our stuff. They want to like our personal stuff and go, yeah, that's awesome. Your kids were in kindergarten. But when it comes to business, it's like crickets, or it's like side-eye judgment.
It's weird.
I can't explain it, guys. But don't feel alone and don't feel offended, because it literally happens to every single person. And like you were saying, Jennie, you need people that are in that same mindset, that entrepreneurial mindset that not everyone is in. So if you're surrounding yourself with people that just don't feel comfortable in that, their go-to is going to be, ooh, judgment, ooh, not supporting, ooh, making comments about it, which is beyond bizarre to me. I truly don't get it. I'm like always supporting anyone doing anything they want, but I digress. Do not feel alone and offended, because every entrepreneur I ever have spoken to has said family and friends are like 0%.
It's bizarre. It's bizarre.
It's so freaking weird. It's so freaking weird, guys. Family and friends, if you're out there, please
stop doing that.
Get it together, family and friends. We need
be supportive. Exactly. Be freaking supportive. So, okay, everybody, I want you to know I'm going to be putting all the ways to contact Kelsey and the Legacy Society in the show notes. Thank you for telling us about that, because I highly encourage anybody listening to this who wants to level up or even just be on a playing field with other amazing powerhouse women. Look into this. I've done different types of societies like this in the past, and it has been an absolute game changer. And I'm definitely going to be looking into Kelsey's. So, Kelsey, if there's a woman listening who feels like she's playing small in her brand or hiding online, what would be the first step you would tell somebody to do?
Well, number one, call me. No, I'm kidding. But
obviously,
it's the first step. I think a lot of it, when it comes to I'm playing small, I'm not doing enough, is that you don't know what you don't know. So you have that imposter syndrome. So
yes.
For me, I recommend this to anyone. I say, I told you guys, I do the hypnosis, and that helps to retrain your brain on what you're capable of, because I think not going big and it's not that, I don't know what button to press. It's more of your internal fears holding you back from posting something or creating a design or creating a business. So I tell people yoga, meditation, hypnosis, EMDR, therapy, walks. There's so many different ways, but you've got to work through that inner stuff because that's really what's holding you back. And again, like
huge.
we're not the experts on, the psychology behind it, but I know for that to be a fact that for many, many people that it is internal stuff that they need to kind of work through, which of course you can work through that while you're running your business. I mean, trust me, it's not like you have to spend years, healing your inner child in order to start a business. But if you're feeling like stuck, I would say listen to some podcasts about imposter syndrome. Listen to some podcasts about how to, wake up that bold you. There's a book, You Are a Badass at Making Money. Highly recommend the book. You're a Badass at Making Money. And it's like, it's going to get you out of that mindset of I can't do it and go, oh my God, wait, I can go do this. So, I mean, again, like that, I say, pop that book in, the audio book, and start walking and don't come back until you feel like you're ready to post.
Don't come back.
Seriously. I mean, right, there's a lot of different things, but I think it's like the confidence piece, like you can do it. Find a biz bestie that actually is like an entrepreneur and not like a family or a friend. Don't try to find support from them because they're not going to give it to you. So, the book.
Steer clear.
Steer clear of friends and family, but find a resource, get online and start searching female founders and start looking at their content and DMing them. Everyone above you wants to pull you up. Trust me when I say anyone that's on a level above you, they're going to be like, oh my God, let me share, let me do this. The people below, they're going to judge. They're going to say, what is she doing? What is she doing? It's the people that are above you that are going to welcome you in with open arms and just join our community. Oh, I have a free Facebook group. There's this, there's that. Like it doesn't all cost money, right? So there's so many ways and just putting yourself out there. I get it. It can be scary. I totally get that is a thing. But it's putting yourself out there and just kind of working through that confidence piece for sure.
So true. So true. And I love that. Everybody should absolutely take Kelsey's advice. So obviously, this podcast is Girl, Why Not You? So my question for you, what does why not you mean to you personally?
So for me, I think it's like, honestly, I was a working girl and I thought, okay, I'm gonna have this great career. And everyone would say to me, you are the PR girl. You're so good at what you do. And when I decided to stay home with my kids, it was such a disappointment to everyone in my world. Like, oh my gosh, you're throwing away a career. You're throwing away a degree, all these things. And then I kind of got into that stay-at-home mom energy where I was like, I'm not really adding a lot. And I am just a stay-at-home mom. And I kind of almost just like took that on as an identity. And then, like I said, I was going through postpartum. I was going through a lot. I was going through infertility. And I really was down internally and mentally and emotionally. And it was when I kind of came out of the postpartum cloud, which takes years, by the way, ladies. It's not like
so many
pop
years.
Out the baby and it's like you're in it for a long time. And I just started thinking to myself while I was in the shower, the only time I ever had to think, like, God, is this really my life? Am I going to be living in this freaking marriage and, dependent on this guy? And I'm like, what am I going to do? And I started like just kind of going every day in the shower, like really like thinking about other people that I thought of, like, look at their life, look at their marriage, which by the way, we don't know what's happening behind closed doors, but it was like this instinct that I was meant for more, a better husband, a better life, a better income, all those things. And so for Girl, Why Not You is like, do the damn thing. And a lot, and it's like, I don't mean to say get divorced, but a lot of times it is
maybe get divorced. I don't know.
Ditch the loser, get divorced, get married. Like if you're, kind of on the edge about that, a lot of people are, it's just make the move, really. So for me, it's like, make the freaking move because I've been stuck in corporate jobs that are toxic and I felt I couldn't leave. I was too scared to even quit. I was too scared to quit. I literally couldn't even quit. I was so afraid. I've been in marriages that I thought, oh, just stick around. What's going to happen? Just make the freaking move. It's going to work out. It might not be pretty. Okay. I'm not saying it's going to be very pretty every single time. It's going to be just going to be hard because change is very hard. It's going to be a little messy. It's going to be messy. But we've got to make these decisions because at the end of the day, when you're 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, you're going to want to say, I did it. You're not going to want to still be stuck because then you might actually be stuck, right? You might be in a wheelchair going, where's my life? I mean, I'm just, to be totally honest, I have people I know in my life that are in their late 60s saying, I really wish I would have done this. And I'm like, it kind of is too late. Not going to lie. Like having a kid is one of the things. It's like,
yeah,
go have the baby, go to the sperm bank. Like if you want these things, you've got to go for them, ladies, because it's not all fairy tales out there. My life, listen, yes, I got divorced. I'm engaged. I'm this, I'm that, but it's not perfect.
Congrats.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
I'd be lying if I said I hadn't been staring at that gorgeous ring this whole time we've been talking.
Thank you. Well, thank you. I know.
Good.
People tell me, they're like, you need to start leading more with I'm like, I need to start weaving that into my personal brand because guys, people love an engagement story. So it's like, let's lean in. I have a girl in my legacy society who works in weddings and she's also engaged. I'm like, girl, this is the perfect couple. Like this is the pairing here. You're engaged. You're working in weddings. Like you got to blow that up right now because this is the time for you in your business to just make those connections. So it's make the move. Girl, why not you? Why not you? Literally, it's like, seriously. That's what I say. Like literally, why not you? Like I want to just beat it into your head sometimes. And I'm if people come to me for personal advice, listen, I'm always like, hey, everyone's life is different. I don't know what's going on with you, but if you're feeling these things, start thinking about different things and start making decisions and piece by piece. It doesn't have to be right away, but it's always you. Like you can do anything. Fill in the blank. Okay. So why not you? You have to make it you though. Decisions. You have to make decisions. Circling ideas and documents and wonders and wishes is not moving you forward. So it's not going to get you there. We've got to make the decisions. Yep.
God, you're so right on that. I love that. Absolutely. And I hope that everybody really takes what she's saying to heart because it's the absolute truth. Even one tiny step in that direction that you want to go is a step. I think a lot of people get buried by thinking, oh, it's such a big task. I can't take this on. It's like task paralysis, but it's like, no, just take one step in that direction and hold yourself accountable. So I'm going to tell you guys this. If this episode resonated and you are done chasing trends and ready to build a personal brand that actually converts, we are sending you to claimedandco.com because you are going to learn all about the Legacy Society. You're going to explore the Legacy Society. Kelsey is going to become your new business bestie, and she's going to help you get your feet off the ground and push you in the right direction towards building your personal brand and making those dreams come alive, my friends. So thank you, Kelsey, truly, for being here today. You have been a delightful guest, so insightful, and I know that everybody listening feels the same way.
Well, thank you, Jennie. It was great. Honestly, it was a great chat. I love sharing this stuff. And I do hope that some of the people in the audience, even if it's one person that makes a move, feels a change, feels a shift, that's the goal, right? One woman at a time. So thank you, ladies, for all tuning in as well.
I hope you all have the greatest rest of your day, and I'm going to hold you accountable to do one thing. I want you to take everything that you've heard today. You're feeling fired up. You're like, yeah, why not me? Look yourself in the mirror. Take one small step. Girl, why not you? If something in this episode made you sit up a little straighter or dream a little bigger, don't ignore it. That's your future nudging you. I'm living proof that you can start messy, start scared, start in the worst timing, and still create something beautiful. Thank you for listening to Girl, Why Not You? Now go take one small step towards the life you've been craving. Hit subscribe, leave a review if you feel called, and share this with someone who's ready for more.